What's up, everybody? I'm back home for the weekend right now, but I just saw Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem, and I knew I had to review it for you. If you're considering seeing this movie, by the end of this video, I promise I'll let you know if it's worth it or not. If you want to be like a super radical, totally awesome person, you should definitely like the video and subscribe to my channel, because I do this movie review thing kind of often now, and you definitely don't want to miss that. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem is the latest take on the infamous crime-fighting reptiles, directed by Jeff Rowe, featuring a grab bag of voice acting talent, including the likes of Jackie Chan, Seth Rogen, Paul Rudd, John Cena, and a bunch of others. The movie follows Leo, Mikey, Donatello, and Raphael hunting down Superfly, played by Ice Cube, in an attempt to become heroes and be accepted by the world. But in their pursuit, they find out Superfly is making a device to turn the entire world into mutants. This version of the Turtles really leans into the teenage aspect of the characters, and it's a really refreshing change. For once, the Turtles are played by real-life teenagers, which doesn't sound super groundbreaking, but when you think about it, these guys definitely aren't teenagers. These ones? Absolutely not. Hell, not even these ones really. And that doesn't make any of them bad. Okay, some of them are bad, but not for that reason. All that is to say that it's really fun to see a different version of these characters than we're used to. The whole idea with this movie seems to be allowing the Turtles to connect to a new generation of kids. And what better way to do that than to have 4 of those kids play them and incorporate things they like into them. There's a lot of pop culture references, but they aren't written in a way that makes them feel forced. Sure, there's maybe a couple more than I'd like, but it feels very natural in the dialogue because the characters are just talking like real teenagers would. I can see how this might feel alienating for an older audience, but again, that's not the point. I hope a bunch of kids get to see this movie and end up loving the Ninja Turtles as much as I did when I was a kid. I could already tell from the trailers I was gonna love this for the animation alone, but it ended up being even better than I was expecting. I already talked about animation a lot in my Across the Spider-Verse video recently, but to me, Mutant Mayhem seems like an even better example of why animation is such a powerful medium. As I said before, Spider-Verse opened up the door in the industry for studios to try out new things in animation, and I'm so glad they did because I don't think we would have got Mutant Mayhem without it. The animation style is clearly inspired by the same style as Spider-Verse, but the differences make it entirely unique. It's kind of ugly looking, but in a way that both looks great and feels like a perfect fit for the universe. The human characters and the mutant characters both look really misshapen and awkward, but it's the imperfection that adds so much charm. It kind of looks like if you gave a toddler a TMNT coloring book and just let him go wild with it. I love that you can see brushstrokes in every movement. Like, I've never seen a movie where it looks like it's being drawn right in front of you as you're watching it, and I loved every second of it. Animation allows you to do so much more than you can do in live action, and I'm glad to see that studios are finally starting to realize it. There is one awesome hallway fight scene where it shows 4 different fights happening at the same time. Each fight is led by a different turtle, and it's edited with match cuts between each scene to create this smoothly flowing scene that's absolutely brilliant. It was a really cool way to direct the scene, and it's one of many examples of animation being used to its fullest extent in this movie. And the characters are a ton of fun. The Turtles all have a ton of personality, and it's really cool to see how their typical traits were adapted into a younger take on the characters. The side characters are also really funny. The standout for me was Paul Rudd as Mondo Gecko. He definitely had the most screen time out of all the side characters, but he was easily the funniest too. Then there's Ice Cube as the villain Superfly. He had the perfect mix of humor and menace in his delivery, and he was a great fit for the role. I also really loved Jackie Chan as Splinter. He had a ton of heart and a lot of fun scenes. The music worked so well with everything else too. It was a good combination of old school rap hits with a couple newer artists as well. It gives the city so much more character than it already has by including East Coast hip hop songs specifically. Overall, I'd say this movie has a ton of fun ideas, and maybe it doesn't have quite enough time to fully explore all of them, but this is such a great introduction to this world, and I can't wait to see more of it. I wouldn't say this is the best movie of the year by any means. It's not going to win any awards, but it's really not trying to. It's meant to appeal to younger audiences as well as Ninja Turtle fans, and it absolutely succeeds in doing so. Movies like this push the boundaries of what we consider kids' movies. Just because a movie's for kids doesn't mean it shouldn't have stunning art direction and a gritty depiction of New York with weirdly disgusting characters. It's grimy and messy, but it's electrifying and downright beautiful. This is easily my favorite take on the Turtles so far, and I'm gonna give this an 8 out of 10. I know there's a lot of great things to see at the movies right now, but I'm always gonna advocate for animated films, especially ones that are as awesome and innovative as this one. So if you're interested in having a fun time at the movies, this is definitely worth seeing as soon as possible. Let me know what you thought about the movie in the comments if you saw it, and if you enjoyed the video, you could, I don't know, always like and subscribe, I guess. That'd be pretty cool. Anyway, that's all for me today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.
We all want a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, but which one could turn you into Squirtle? Move your tongue into a circle, the right spot is universal.